In this video, we will discuss the behavior of plane electromagnetic waves in free space using Maxwell's equations. The Maxwell's electromagnetic equations are given by del dot D is equal to rho and del dot B vector is 0. The curl of E vector is equal to minus dou B by dou T and curl of H vector is equal to J plus dou D by dou T, where the displacement vector D is given by epsilon E bar, the magnetic vector B is given by mu H bar, J vector the current density is given by sigma into E bar. Since it is a free space, it is non-conducting in nature, sigma will be equal to 0 and it is a charge free, so the charge density rho will be equal to 0. Mu will be equal to mu naught, epsilon will be equal to epsilon naught. Here mu naught and epsilon naught are the magnetic permeability and elective permittivity of free space. So, the Maxwell's equations can be modified into del dot E equal to 0. Since rho is 0, divergence of E equal to 0, the divergence of H equal to 0, where we have substituted mu naught H in place of B. Curl of E vector is equal to minus mu naught dou H by dou T, again we have substituted for B, and curl of H vector is equal to epsilon naught dou E vector by dou T, where this dou D by dou T term is replaced by epsilon naught E and J goes to 0 as sigma is 0. Now let us take curl of equation 2C. Okay, so it is del into del cross E vector will be equal to minus mu naught dou by dou T into del cross H vector. So we already have a value for del cross H vector as epsilon naught dou E by dou T. Let us substitute that in equation 3. So del cross E vector is equal to minus mu naught dou by dou T into epsilon naught dou E by dou T. So simplifying this, you will get equation number 4. Del cross E vector is equal to minus mu naught epsilon naught dou square E vector by dou T square. So let us use a vector identity. Del cross E vector is equal to gradient into del dot E vector minus del square E vector. Since the divergence of E vector is equal to 0 by Maxwell's first equation, so this equation can be reduced to del cross E vector is equal to minus del square E vector. So now let us substitute the value of equation 5 in equation 4. When you substitute it, you will get in place of del cross E vector, we can write minus del square E vector is equal to minus mu naught epsilon naught del square E vector divided by dou T square. So a negative sign and the negative sign will get cancelled. We will be left with del square E vector is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square E vector by dou T square. So if we start doing the same treatment from equation 2D, we will arrive at del square H bar equal to mu naught epsilon naught dou square H vector by dou T square. So equation 6 and 7 represents the wave equations of electromagnetic fields in terms of E and H in free space. The general wave equation is given by del square psi is equal to 1 by V square into dou square psi by dou T square. So this is the wave equation in free space, the general wave equation. So when we look at equation 6, 7 and 8, they all look similar. So we can compare all these three equations and we can arrive at 1 by V square is equal to mu naught epsilon naught, or we can write V is equal to 1 by root of mu naught epsilon naught. We all know mu naught and epsilon naught are the constants and they have a value in free space. So substituting their value, mu naught is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 and epsilon naught as 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. We get V is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, which is nothing but our speed of light. So the field vectors E and H are propagated at the speed of light in free space. That means the electric vector and the magnetic vectors are propagated in the free space with the velocity of light. So equation 6 and 7 can be rearranged and written as del square E vector minus 1 by C square into dou square E by dou T square is equal to 0. Del square H vector minus 1 by C square into dou square H by dou T square equal to 0. And again rearranging the general wave equation, we get del square psi minus 1 by C square into dou square psi by dou T square equal to 0. A plane wave is defined as a wave whose amplitude is same at all points in a plane perpendicular to a specified direction. So this is how we define a plane wave. It is simply a wave. A plane wave is simply a wave whose amplitude, so that's the maximum displacement from its main position, is same at any point in a plane perpendicular to a specified direction. So for equation 9, 10 and 11, we can write a solution for it in a plane wave form as E of r comma t is equal to E naught vector e power minus I k dot r minus omega t. The same way we can write it for H and as well as for psi. Here E naught, H naught, psi naught vector are amplitudes which are constants in space and time, and k is called as a wave propagation vector, and which is in turn given by small k into a unit vector n, and this k is nothing but it is a wave number. The small k is nothing but it is a wave number which is given by 2 pi by lambda, or you can write it as 2 pi nu by c into n vector. So 2 pi nu is nothing but it is our omega frequency, omega by c into n unit vector. Here n cap is a unit vector which acts in the direction of propagation of a wave. So we have two divergence condition, del dot E equal to 0 and del dot H is equal to 0. Now let us introduce these two restrictions in equation number 12 and 13. So let us put it in equation number 12 and 13. If you put it, we will get k dot k vector into E vector will give you 0. K vector into dot H vector will give you a 0. So which reveals that these electromagnetic field vectors E and H are both perpendicular to each other to the direction of propagation vector k. So E is moving in one direction and H is moving in another direction, exactly perpendicular to each other. So which implies that the electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. So we all know electromagnetic waves are already transverse in nature from other theories. Again, this from Maxwell's equation, it is proved that electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature, and E vector and H vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other. Next, we have another two curl conditions, curl of E vector and curl of H vector. Let us put it in equation number 12 and 13. So if you put it in 12 and 13, we will get I into k vector into E vector is equal to minus mu naught into I omega H vector. Simplifying, we will get k vector into E vector is equal to mu naught omega H bar, that is H vector. K vector into H vector is equal to minus epsilon naught omega E vector. So from equation 15 and 16, it is obvious that H is perpendicular to both k vector and E vector. In the same way, the field vector E is also perpendicular to k vector and H vector. So this means E and H vectors are not only mutually perpendicular to each other, they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave vector. So E and H are not only perpendicular to each other, they are perpendicular to the propagation vector k vector. So E vector, H vector and k vector will form a set of orthogonal vectors and they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Again, let's take from equation 15. K vector into E vector is equal to mu naught omega H vector. So we can write H vector is equal to K into E vector divided by mu naught omega. And we have the value for K vector is equal to N into K vector, and K vector can be written as omega by C. And substituting all this in this expression, we get 1 by mu naught C into N cross E. So, or 1 by mu naught can be written as C into epsilon naught into N cross E vector. Or in general, in a moduli form, we can write H is equal to 1 by mu naught C into 1 by mu naught C into E. Or we can rearrange this as the ratio of E to H. So when you rearrange this equation of E to H, you will get mu naught C. So this E to H is nothing but it is given by Z naught, which is the impedance of the wave in free space. So instead of this mu naught C, we can write it as root of mu naught by epsilon naught. Again, let us substitute the value of mu naught and epsilon naught. We will end up getting the value as 376.6 ohms. So the unit of E by H says that it is nothing but it is the impedance value of the wave, which is represented as Z naught, the wave impedance of free space, and it is a real value and positive, which implies that the field vectors E and H vectors are same in same phase. They are in the same phase. They have a relative magnitude at all points at all the times. Next, let us turn our discussion on Poynting vector. So we all know the Poynting vector is nothing but it represents the energy flow per unit area per unit time, and the Poynting vectors are given by S is equal to E cross H, E vector into H vector. For a plane magnetic wave, we have the value for H, right, E by Z naught. So we have substituted it. So S is equal to E square by Z naught into unit vector. Then average value of S is computed as 1 by Z naught E square RMS into unit vector. Here I have skipped the mathematical derivative part of average value of S, because this is beyond the exam point of view. So the average value of S is given by 1 by Z E square RMS into N unit vector. So the direction of the Poynting vector is nothing, is also points in the direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave. So this implies that the flow of energy in a plane electromagnetic wave in free spaces along the direction of the wave. Okay, the energy also flows in the direction of a wave. So from our all our discussion, we can conclude that in free space, the electromagnetic waves travel with the speed of light, and they are transverse in nature, and E vector and H vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other, and not only they are mutual, they travel with the same phase in all directions, and the electromagnetic energy is propagated in the direction of wave propagation at the speed of light, and the electrostatic energy is equal to the magnetostatic energy in the case of in the case of plane waves in free space.